All right, guys, Dr. Rob here today. We are going to power pose our way to boosting serotonin, to improving mood, and to just feeling better. And I am with the amazing Kristen here today. Yep, she has a bachelor's in psychology. She's worked in the mental health care profession. She is going to help us teach you how to power pose, because these are really cool, really neat things, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. So, but before we get started, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Dr. Rob DeBeese. I've been in practice for 22 years. Feels like 23 sometimes. For 22 years, we've worked with over 22,000 patients and clients from 43 other states and 23 countries. People usually come see us because they're struggling with a health problem or they're struggling with a weight problem that they just can't resolve. And we're pretty good at helping those guys. If you're in that category or you're serious about your health, you want some improvements, click on the above link, check that page out. There's even a free weight loss and health evaluation on that page that you could take if you would like. No pressure, but we definitely want to help you. All right, let's talk about power posing. Let's talk about how we do this, a little bit about the science behind it. So the science behind this power posing is simply when you put your body in certain positions, it stimulates certain parts of the brain to know things are good, right? Like if you're cowering, the brain knows, oh wow, this is a scared posture, so it's going to release certain neurochemicals that are connected with that particular posture. In the same respect, if the brain knows you're like this, not that this is a power pose, but if you're like this, you may be engaged and ready to fight, so the brain is going to release other neurochemicals to help your body combat at that moment, like to physically combat. Well, there's certain poses that Kristen is going to take us through today that are power poses that help elevate your serotonin, reduce cortisol, and improve your testosterone levels. So she's going to take us through those. Kristen, can you show us your favorite power pose first?
I would love to. So my personal favorite is legs a little bit open and arms on the hips. And it always helps to smile.
And if someone's doing a power pose, how long do they typically want to do that for?
At least a minute.
At least a minute. Okay, and after a minute, what's happening like chemically in their body?
Yeah, so testosterone's increasing, which naturally brings cortisol down. They actually have an inverse relationship. And you're just going to feel more confident and you're going to feel lighter. So if you're ever going like into a job interview, a stressful situation, you're just struggling with depression, you just want something to kind of kick you out of it, definitely power pose and smiling. If you can, the sillier you can make it too, the better. So you could even do, something like this and just be like, how can you be sad when you're just looking ridiculous?
I can't be. It's hard.
Another one, you can do just like starfish. Just like stay like this for a minute.
Oh, I love that.
Yep. If you're, if you have an office job, but you're like sitting all day, being hunched over can really, bring up those bad chemicals. So having just your back open, your shoulders open, you can just sit like this. That would only help. You can even just extend your arms, kind of stretch from side to side. And don't forget to smile.
Thank you, Kristen. We have more. We're not done yet. There's an interesting study that showed, I believe it takes only 17 muscles in the face to smile, but I think it was 43 to frown. So we know, like just looking at that dynamic in the body, right? When you're frowning, you're actually pulling more energy out of your body. It takes more work to frown. It takes more work to like kind of be in these unhealthy poses. But when you assume this power pose, it's definitely stimulating to the brain and to the neurochemistry. So I know we have a couple people on with us right now, and I want to make sure that you guys could hear us. So if you could please list in the comment below, give me a little hi, give me a little wave, give a hello to Kristen, just so we know that you're tracking with us and you're vibing. You're picking up what we're putting down, as my son would say. Okay, cool. So Kristen, thank you for those power poses. Are there any other ones or any other situations that you like to power pose in?
Yeah, just going into a situation that I'm not sure about,
okay,
I haven't done before, if I'm just feeling anxious. If I've just been, sitting, like researching a lot or typing a lot on the computer, our shoulders can get hunched, and when that happens, like it's a lot harder for the lungs to get air because we make ourselves smaller. So this really helps open up so that we can breathe more. The more we breathe, the more oxygen our brain has.
like that.
Yeah.
Feels good. Get your power pose on, guys. Okay, so for you personally, like when you go into a power pose, how long does it take you to feel some type of like physiological change, whether it's in your brain or your body or just overall?
Yeah, I'd say probably about 10 seconds.
No kidding.
Yeah, and for me too, it's just the intentional effort of just knowing, like, acknowledging that I need a power pose, and then actually doing it puts me into the space of, I'm doing something different, that this can only help. I feel a little silly, and that's funny, and I'm smiling, so I already feel better.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. It's actually, it reminds me of something that Tony Robbins used to say, and I'll tell you in a second. For those of you guys that don't know, this is Kristen. She's been working with us for a while now, and Kristen has a bachelor's in psychology, and she worked formerly in the mental health care profession. So this is kind of like her wheelhouse, which is one of the reasons why I pulled her in here today. But Tony Robbins would say that that fear responds to motion. Meaning, if you're feeling afraid, if you're feeling depressed, and you're feeling down, one of the ways to conquer that immediately is he would just say, start moving. Put your body into motion, get your body moving. Because when your body's moving and you're in motion, you're immediately changing your neurochemistry. Movement changes your neurochemistry. Putting yourself into a pose that your brain has already identified as a dominant pose, as a happy pose, as a strong pose. Your brain responds neurochemically to that body position. In the same way that your brain would respond, like if you were like this, your brain would respond, oh, we're afraid, we have to release the neurochemistry that matches this physical position. So here we're trying to match the neurochemistry that relates to these physical positions. Give us a power pose. And if you're one of those that are struggling with a health problem or a weight problem, I put a link up here, and it'll also be down here in the comment section. Take a pop over to my website, check the information over there that's connected with that link. I think you'll really find it valuable and helpful. So I've been in practice for 22 years. I have, I think, over 600 pages of information on that website, tons of different videos, lots of practical stuff. So go over there and check it out. And I want to end here today by asking Kristen one more question about power poses. Have you ever had an experience where you were just like not feeling so great at that moment, and then you did a power pose, and afterwards you were like, yeah, that definitely helped?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's worked every time. And there's also like a psychological term from dialectical behavioral therapy called opposite action. And so it's just like what you were talking about before, is like when we're in a position doing the opposite, or like getting into movement can really be beneficial.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Kristen, thank you. Yeah. You're the bomb. Guys, Kristen Eller over here, kicking butt, teaching us how to power pose. Get your power pose on. I'll be here tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to be power posing, but we're going to be doing something really cool. Go to the website, check out the link. My purpose here is to help. So is Kristen's purpose. That's our whole purpose here at AlternaCare. So check out the link. Let us help you. Share this information with your friends and family. Please put it on your page. Post it to your story. Do whatever you need to do. Just get it out there. We really want to help people. And power posing might be a great way to do that. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.